TOA Fit Buddy Forever and Fit Buddy Bootcamp communities. What's up, everybody? I'm Robert Linkul, your owner of TOA Training the Older Adult and the Director of Education over at Fit Buddy Bootcamp. Here to talk to you today about protein intake. And is there such a thing as too much? If you search across the internet right now, you are going to see that this is quite the hot topic. This article here is probably the most in-depth and it's going to give you such a great amount of resources to be able to go back and research and find if you really want to dive in. I think Peter put 27 works cited reports into works sightings into the reporting work he did in this article. So if you're like, man, I want some stuff to dive into and really get these answers, read this article. It's on his page there, peterattiamd.com. If you go over to this is my guy, Dustin Jones over at ICE, which stands for the Institute of Clinical Excellence. This is from their weekly newsletter, which is fantastic. I encourage you to sign up for it. But it goes deep into the amount of protein and, again, the same discussion, and gives you some good resources in here. And then if you really want to have a very entertaining explanation of this, head over to Dr. Mike Israetel. His page is Renaissance Periodization. You can see it down there on the bottom left, 3.8 million subscribers. Dr. Israetel, Mike Israetel, is fantastic, very entertaining, and he goes through, the most recent research article that goes into the hypothesis, is the high protein intake diet harming people or hurting people? And I just got done watching it and just did a report on Monday about Peter Attia's. Just saw on the Institute of Clinical Excellence email today that protein. I'm like, man, this is just in our face over and over again. So let's discuss it a little bit. The bottom line is anything done to an extreme excess is going to be damaging for you. So yeah, if you're only eating protein in just massive excess for your body size and type and what you're training for, then yes, it can have some negative return. But even then, you got to get a lot of protein in, and that can be quite difficult for most individuals. So the recommended daily amount, the RDA recommended daily amount, is somewhere between 1.6 and 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. And that is done internationally. So what that breaks down to, that's why it's in kilos, what that breaks down to is 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 135 pounds, and then you should be getting somewhere between 120 and 135 grams of protein. And if you eat 3 to 4 times a day, you're looking at 25 to 35 grams, somewhere in there, rough math, of grams of protein per meal. Would that be right? Yeah, that gets you right around there. So 100 would be, or if you did 25, that'd be 100 grams. And if you did 35, that'd be, 140 grams. Yeah, so right around in there. And then so you look at that and you're like, okay, how do I get, let's say I'm doing 4 meals a day, how am I going to get 25 to 35 grams of protein in each of those meals when, like an average steak, let's look that up real quick. What does an average steak have in protein? Okay, the average steak, this is like a sirloin steak, has roughly 25 to 27 grams of protein in it. Any variation of pork containing around, 22 to 35 grams per 100 ounces of it. A chicken breast will have anywhere between 30 and 32 grams of protein in it. And so it gives you some general guidelines on here. Turkey breast, 30 to 32 grams. Tuna can have 24 grams per can. So, there are ways for you to measure out your protein amounts via just meat, let alone if you're going to do legumes and veggies and any other supplements then that you put in. You could get a protein bar that has between 20 and 25 grams of protein. There's one chunk to just add in with whatever you're doing. You could do a protein shake, probably 25 to 30 minutes, within 25 to 30 minutes of your workout being complete. You should be able to take a protein shake. You're halfway there, right between those two, a protein bar and a protein shake. Then all the meals that you would eat throughout the day, don't forget about your cheeses, and if you're having broccoli or spinach or kale, these are all higher protein based vegetables that you can do in there. Legumes, nuts, any of those things. Though you are going to have some higher fat components to it, you'll still have some really good options of protein in there. So I would consider all of those throughout your 4 meals. Getting to 100, the base minimum, 100 grams of protein, shouldn't be that difficult if you are relying on some supplements to assist you. If you're not going to do that, if you're not going to use supplements, then it's going to take a little bit more work, a little more planning on your end to make sure you're getting enough protein. So now the question becomes why? Why are we trying to get that amount of protein on a regular daily basis? The amount of protein that you put into your body is going to have a direct return on how your body rebuilds itself after the good damage done throughout your training day. Protein is accrued. Again, I am not a nutritionist and or registered dietitian, so these are very general terms. I can talk about the human body and the anatomy way differently than I can talk about this, but your basic breakdown in protein is amino acid, and that amino acid the initial breakdown of your musculature is amino acid, and the protein that you are going to eat helps in that rebuilding of the amino acid components that allows your musculature to rebuild. So you do a workout, and when you're doing the workout and you're struggling against the load, we're doing curls and you're struggling with each one, the fibers that are slightly being torn, these are good damages. That's why your muscles are sore, is because you had little tiny microfiber tears in the muscles. And when the muscles rebuild, they rebuild with stronger binding sites and or bigger, more binding sites. And that's how you go from an 11-inch bicep to a 12 and then a 13. Like, how does that get bigger? You're actually adding more actin and myosin binding sites along the way, and that builds the muscle size as you continue to train. Now, if you don't lift really heavy loads, but you do more volume and or tempo, more repetitions, more tempo with lighter loads, you still get that damage done. But because the load wasn't super heavy, the tearing that's done is just based on stress of your current actin and myosin. And so they get stronger in being rebuilt, but not necessarily more binding sites. So that's where we can get quite a bit stronger without you necessarily getting bigger in size. Now, naturally, if you've never trained, you're naturally going to have a little bit of natural gain, but at some point you'll kind of level off and you'll just really focus on stronger, more dynamic binding sites. And then the nightly repair when you're asleep, and that's why sleep is so important. You're well hydrated, you're getting a lot of good sleep, you have some creatine, which we heavily encourage you to do, and however you're getting your protein in, all of those are going to help you rebuild your musculature the next day. You're a little less sore, those binding sites are starting to heal up, and now the advantage that you've trained for to overcome this load, 20-pound curls, as you do that over and over and over again and you build back more muscle, all of a sudden 20 pounds isn't all that difficult, and you need to go to the 25s now. And that's how this process is done. So if you're training really hard and not giving yourself enough protein, you are not going to be able to build the muscle mass that you are so desiring to get. If you're not getting enough sleep and allowing that process of the protein being basically transferred into, again, very general terms, being transferred into your body and allowing that rebuild of the musculature to occur, it's not going to happen if that product does not exist inside of your dietary needs. So you need to make sure you're getting enough protein. Naturally, obviously the best choice, supplements if you need to do so as well. Now, the concerns we have, in excess of protein. If you get too much, if you have any kind of kidney damage, or even with your liver, if there are any conditions going on there, but especially with your kidneys, high protein diets can be detrimental, and that's something you don't want to mess with. If you're having kidney and or liver issues, creatine you don't want to put into your system. So you need to talk to your doctor. That's why we give you our disclaimer at the beginning. I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing you any nutritional demands. I'm giving you general information to go and talk to your doctor about and say, I want to make sure I'm getting enough protein. Am I okay to take this much protein? And then from there, what protein is best for me? Should it be whey-based, which is milk-based product from cow? Would it be oat milk? Would it be almond? Would it be vegan? I mean, there's all kinds of different options. And if you have if you just a real general search on Google of just different types of protein, and you just do that search on here, we're going to get upwards of 16, 18, 22 different companies right away that are offering. That's just the first ones that pop up on here, okay? So there's lots. I'm going to say 100 that you can search out there, but there are definitely ones that I feel like are much better. Just keep this in mind as you pursue your protein. As with anything else, you are going to pay for quality. So cheap protein is going to have a lot more fat in it, and it'll have protein still, but maybe not even the best. Where more expensive protein is going to be filtered in filtering out the fat casing and allowing for better protein, more rich protein to be consumed and absorbed by your body more efficiently. So take all that as you will, talk to your doctor, make sure that you're able to have the discussion, know that you want to get enough protein in your system, how much protein would be good, how many meals are you having a day? Oh, I had one more to show you. This is my breakdown every day. As a 250-pound man, I eat about 5 meals a day. So I'm upwards of 50 grams per meal, but at a minimum, I need 35. That's going to get me to about 210 grams of protein a day. So that's my bare minimum. Most of my meals I'm getting around 45 to 50. And I do 2 supplemented meals a day, one in a shake, and the other one I just add on top of my cereal. I just do 50 grams of protein right onto my cereal and grub it up, no problem. It's like chocolate milk and strawberries, man. It's great. I love it. I just put it right on my Special K, or if you have any of the Special K, is that a drug? You know what I mean? Simple K, shit. Simple K. whatever the flakes with the strawberries in it, that's me. I put it on that. I don't do drugs. That's funny. Simple K, let's go with that. That's the one. And you want to at least, I just throw it right on there. I throw my 50 grams in there, put my creatine in there, my collagen, I mix it all up. I like the chocolate strawberry combo. They've got all different flavors. I mean, you can do you with this, no problem. So check it out into your research of proteins and is this right, etc. Reference back to this article, Peter Attia, or look at Dr. Israetel, Mike Israetel's. Both are great resources. I always want you to be well educated on this. And if I can help kind of connect the dots for you to find it, even better. Comments, questions, hit me up down below. If not, please like, subscribe, share, help us grow our channel. We appreciate you. And until next time, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. Take care, everybody.